So we'll make a little intro sound and then...
Yay!
I think I clapped early.
No, I just was like, I don't know what to say. The excitement has quickly turned to...
What the fuck do I say?
What do I say, bro?
Anyway, guys, welcome to Midnight Memories, a podcast about all things One Direction.
Ooh.
Woo!
Right, let's start making sense.
Yes.
Welcome to Midnight Memories, the podcast.
Woo!
Yes,
A
please.
podcast all about celebrating One Direction. Woo! So, let's introduce ourselves, I guess. I'll kick us off. I'm Aoife. I am 24.
She's old.
Yeah, I like to pretend I'm 17, and I think that maybe when the pandemic's over, I'm going to move to a new city and just pretend I'm 22. And I think I'll get away with it. Maybe not by airing that on a podcast, but...
You're screwed.
We'll see.
That's my plan.
I'm Ali. I'm 24 as well. And I'm just a big stan. I'm a big 1D stan.
I'm Harry, and I have no interest in One Direction. That's not true. That's not true, guys. I love them. No, all I know is like the singles, and that's about the height of it. So we're going into this blind, boys. But yeah.
So myself and Ali are big 10-year 1D stans. We are friends because of One Direction.
I think we should tell the story.
I think we shall.
I think we should.
So Ali, actually, you might recognise her if you're an Irish Directioner, used to be quite the popular Directioner on Twitter.
What a throwback. Aoife was one of my loyal followers.
I was.
And came back to haunt me about 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago?
God,
Yeah, it was.
yeah, 2 or
2018.
3 must have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
So
Time
myself-
flies.
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun in the 1D fandom, huh?
Boom.
Yeah, we were down in Cork for like a drama festival thing, and I'm just, going on into the toilets, and was it in the toilets? It was you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. And I had recognised her.
And Aoife Brown goes, "You're Ali, I've followed you on Twitter for like 5 years."
Oh my god! I thought you were like school friends
No.
or something.
Oh my god,
What? I didn't know that. Oh
No.
my god!
I was like, "Oh my god, cool."
Yeah.
I didn't even know what to say. I was like, "That's crazy, girl."
Ooh.
That's crazy. Wow, fair play to ya.
Ha ha ha, lol.
Yeah. And then we went and
Oh
saw
my God.
Harry in Dublin a couple of weeks later.
Yes. Oh, what
And
an
the rest,
experience.
as they say, was history.
Oh my! I didn't know
Yeah,
that. I didn't
that's
know
how
that.
we're
That's wild.
friends.
Harry Styles bringing people
bonds.
together since
Thank you, King.
1984. Yeah. What can't he
Blood
do?
of- the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Eh? The blood of the One Direction fandom.
How many cans has this man had?
I haven't eaten about 4 hours, so
Uh-oh.
it's all hitting.
Uh-oh. So yeah, you can join us for weekly 1D chats on this podcast. We're going to be charting the incredible career of One Direction through the songs and the scandals. Because as much as there were plenty of songs, there were plenty of scandals as well. And we just think it'll be a bit of crack to reminisce 2020's been a rough one, and One Direction was rough, but like in a different way, you know?
2020 has made us be teenagers again.
Massively. So what better thing to do than turn that in? Why go to therapy when you could do a podcast about One Direction, you know? So for the first 4 episodes, we're going to be covering the X Factor days, and then we will get into the albums. So we'll start off with like an overview episode, and we'll sort of discuss the album as a whole, and then kind of do a quick overview of that year as well. So tours, gossip, etc. And then get into the tracks. So singles will all have an episode to themselves, and the album tracks will go 2 per episode. We'll probably do some bonus episodes along the way as well. Maybe like some watch-alongs of This Is Us and different little bits. And when the 3 of us inevitably become influencers, we'll do a wee Q&A, because I know you guys are going to want to know everything about us.
Yeah, if anyone who listens to this could please follow me on Twitter. I have such a pathetic Twitter following. I'm just begging for any amount of engagement on my terrible tweets.
Someone give him a reply.
Yeah, it's like, guys, great tweets. Like, what if Blue Tack was edible? That's it, you know? Stellar content.
Woo.
Anything's edible if you try.
Yeah.
So, I guess before we get into talking about 1D, let's take it back to 2010, guys.
Yeah, the cultural wasteland of 2010, as we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, let's set the scene.
Yeah, so I don't know about you guys, but in 2010, a cinema opened in Downpatrick. So I think I saw Avatar about 3 times that year, and I convinced myself it was the best movie ever.
Oh my god, that was the year.
Surely it didn't take much convincing, because that was the best movie ever, and I haven't forgotten a single plot point.
Yeah. That guy who went on to have a stellar career, the Australian boy.
Yeah. In Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yes.
The Social Network won Best Picture, though. That was the year of the Social Network.
It was nominated. It didn't
Did it not
win.
win?
I wish it won.
Oh, I thought it won.
No, Social Network's my favourite movie. I know.
Who bet it? Was it Avatar?
Surely not.
No,
We need to check this. We'll confirm it in episode 2.
Yeah. Well, the Social Network didn't quite make it to Downpatrick Cinema, so yeah.
Also, the year of Lady Gaga's meat dress.
I was at the meet.
It's
What was the year
that
she was
long
in the
ago.
egg?
Oh, I
Remember when she was in the egg? That was really weird.
No.
She was in an egg in an award ceremony.
Oh, when she came to the Grammys in the egg.
Oh
Iconic.
my god, I do not remember this.
Simply
Yeah,
iconic.
she was
love.
just in
I
an egg
was
with those
honestly
people
a bit
carrying it.
scared of her back in the day.
And we all should still be scared of her now. Like, what a talent. What a queen.
Yeah. Scared of her talent, not scared of her. The woman is 5 foot tall.
Despicable Me came out in 2010. Speaking of things to be scared of, Minions. Unless you're Zayn Malik. Loves Minions.
TikTok Song of the Year.
Oh.
The Kesha
Oh my
song.
God.
That was 2010.
Oh my god, and 10 years later, TikTok has taken over my life.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I had the top song of the year was Love the Way You Lie with Eminem and Rihanna, I believe. And that is
Oh my god.
so
Domestic
bad.
abuse used to be so cool.
Yeah, I actually wrote down domestic abuse is
Oh
cool.
my
for-
god.
I actually wrote down. No, keep it in. I wrote down the 4 songs that reminded me most of 2010. So
Oh
it was
my god.
Love the Way You Lie. We Know Speak Americano. Do you remember that?
Oh my god.
Just so bad. And then
Oh my god.
Forget You, which blew everyone's mind, and that was actually
Oh,
Fuck
yes.
You. Yeah, that was everywhere.
Yeah.
And then I think the most 2010 song is actually Don't Stop Believing by Glee, the Glee cast. That was
Did Glee
2010.
come out in
Oh, that was
2010?
Yeah, it must have been Glee was 2010, which is like the most 2010 TV show of all time.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So that's in the cultural
Iconic.
musical wasteland of 2010.
Oh my god, I was such a loser. I remember being Bluetoothed that song. I hadn't. Did I just like
Oh
not
my
have
God.
internet? What was
It hadn't
on?
reached Ireland. We didn't have
What's
internet in 2010, unfortunately.
Why did someone need to Bluetooth me that song in 2010?
I remember in 2012, I would go to my friend's house and he'd be like, "Oh man, let's listen to this new song," and he'd have to put YouTube down to 240p, and like we'd have to wait 20 minutes. That was just rural. Like,
That's
County
still rural
Down.
Donegal today. That's my
Yeah,
parents' house.
I couldn't
Yeah.
watch YouTube.
But the worst
Our
part-
internet was so bad.
The worst part was the song was always like a Kasabian
Oof.
B-side or something. I'd just have to sit there and be like, "This is
Woof.
great." What I wanted to touch on for 2010 for the context of One Direction's auditions was just how horrific that was. It was in 2010 in the UK. That was the first election I was aware of. And I remember just being just so in love with Nick Clegg of the Lib Dems. I trusted that guy. He was so cool. He said he was going to get rid of tuition fees. And then I think we could just like smash cut to must have been the September or the November whenever there was the riots in London. So
Wow.
that's the sort of context One Direction are appearing in, like a time of economic misery. But it's also like before One Direction's or X Factor or others started to like degenerate into like that guy Stevie Ritchie and like, do you remember Honey C from 2015?
No.
The rapper?
Honey G.
Honey
Who's
G,
Honey
yeah.
G?
Simply an
She's like
icon.
a rapper.
I don't know her.
Like a middle-aged British woman who would rap
Oh my God.
but she also couldn't rap. But it's like it's symptomatic of the show. Just it's like terminal decline.
What's
X
so
Factor, yeah.
interesting though
Wow.
is like that's us looking at X Factor 10 years on, but at the time X Factor was one of the biggest shows. Like she's a flop now, but at the time she was everything.
She was, yeah, our lives revolved around One Direction. That too. They revolved around X Factor.
They really did.
I'd like look forward to
Yeah.
X Factor like so much. Like, you know when you get like the first ad on TV where it's like, oh, X Factor is back, and it's like, is it Dermot O'Leary? Is that his name?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I think 2010 was the year I stopped watching.
Ah,
so
you missed
maybe
a
that's why I
good
didn't
one,
turn into
Harry.
a directioner. Yeah.
I stopped
Missing
after
a great one.
2010. I was like, I'm set. Once I got One Direction, I was like, I'd never need to watch television ever again.
I don't need anything else in my
I'm
life.
being
Need
fed by
anything
my
more.
Five Kings. What more could I need?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's done now.
Yeah, because X Factor would come back in August, so it was like the rest of the year culturally belongs to the X Factor in some capacity in the UK and Ireland. Now, like, she's a flop.
Is it even on anymore? I don't think it's on anymore.
I know,
Is it
I
coming
feel
on
like they
this
were going
year?
to take a year off of it, which may have coincided with COVID, but I don't know if they're going to breathe new life into it. The ratings have kind of been slipping and slipping. It's more of a strictly love now. So, we're setting the scene. It's 2010. It's the 21st of August, and Series 7 of the X Factor begins.
Is that the music that you've been
That's the X Factor
singing?
music!
X Factor.
Is it?
Yeah!
I was like
So
singing
long.
that bad.
It's the internet connection. It's the internet connection.
So this week we're going to be covering One Direction's X Factor auditions. So to start us off, I guess, do we remember watching any of them on the TV? Harry, I guess you don't because you slept on this season. Ali, do you remember
No memory,
One
no
Direction's
memory.
X Factor auditions?
Oh, yes. I remember them so well. The minute Liam Payne walked out on stage, I decided, yeah, I'm changing my Twitter username to something to do with this man. Things have changed.
Yeah, so for context, Ali, you used to be a who and who are you now of the 1D boys?
So, I've had a journey. I
Oh.
obviously, as I said, was a big Liam girl during X Factor. Then, as time went on, I don't know, I felt like Niall was like this Irish king, and I was like, I love this man. So sort of was a Niall stan for a bit. And then Harry just took over. Like, Harry
As he
owns my
does.
life right now.
Mhm.
But yeah, back in 2010, it was all about Liam. And I remember Liam coming out, and so gas as when you're rewatching his audition today, and like he really was the epitome of like what girls fancied back then, I feel.
Massively.
Like he's got like the whole like Justin Bieber look going on. He's dressed very fashionable for 2010. You know, like he's wearing those big sort of boots. He's got the jeans, got the white t-shirt, the V-neck.
Big boots.
Big boobs.
And he comes out and I like really remember, you know, like him coming on and the start of the song, like he sings, or he's like, I'm gonna sing Cry Me a River, and then it's like the do. I remember that so well because it's like, that's a big song. Like, are you sure you want to do this? But then he was actually good.
Yeah.
He was actually good.
And now you say you're lonely.
Our school orchestra, which I played like second trumpet in because it was awful. We did Cry Me a River. We did Cry Me a River for like, you know, the guy in school who's like a good singer.
Yeah.
The Liam Payne of your school,
We did that
yeah.
for him at the school. The Liam Payne of our school, yeah. And he actually once came back, like he'd been offered, and he was like, yeah, I went to audition for Britain's Got Talent, but I didn't have a story. So
Stop.
F.
but well, he is actually a great singer. I think he's actually working as a musician now. But anyway, that Cry Me a River was like everywhere in 2010. That version, I think, like, was there a big Michael Bublé?
Yeah, Michael
thing
Bublé
at
was
stage or
big in
something as
2010.
well?
I was just gonna say that was the
Yeah.
like. Obviously, I personally think Liam's audition was the best audition. Is that an objective thing? I feel like maybe that's subjective. Harry was the cutest, but Liam was the best singer
He's the best singing wise,
at
but
the
like,
time.
Yeah,
because Liam was one of those auditions that kind of went viral.
Yeah.
There would always be somebody, like, in my memory anyway, they would kind of preview the X Factor auditions in the papers, maybe on a Saturday. But I feel like there were online previews as well, and maybe this happened in later seasons, but I remember it was like a thing from like a Thursday or a Friday. They'd really start like kicking up the advertising and kind of showing you who the main storylines were going to be for that episode. And to me, I remember Liam being one of them, for sure, being a viral.
Yeah.
Like viral for 2010, I guess.
I
but-
feel like he was quite near the start of the episode as well, was he? I actually like remember sitting in the kitchen watching this.
Yeah, I really think Liam might have been in that first episode, or at least that first weekend, I think.
Also,
to reel them in.
he
Yeah,
tries very hard to sound like Michael Bublé in it, I think.
God love him, yeah.
that's what I was gonna say. He has like the worst American accent.
Like, he's not Liam yet.
Now you say you love me.
Yeah.
You say you're lonely.
Yeah,
So
he's definitely
bad.
been having singing
Yeah.
lessons in the years between 2008 and 2010, because Liam also had the added storyline, as well as being young and fit, of being a returnee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy that they would accept a 14-year-old on the X Factor.
They changed it very
Like-
quickly, though, I think, didn't they? They went back up to 16.
Yeah, but X Factor, when it went to
No, they
America,
didn't.
had like actual for real children on it. Like there was a category just of children,
What?
ruled by Queen Britney Spears.
Well, America's a lawless place, though.
But do you remember the Britain's Got Talent season where they had like a 7-year-old girl singing on it, and then she like
Connie
off course
Talbot!
got 2 notes and stopped singing? Was
Yes!
that who? Oh, you know the name? I don't have to explain that. Yeah, but like, and then like they had her.
She is like an adult now.
Connie Talbot needs to be in Little Mix.
Oh my god, yes, they're short a member now.
Yeah, she could be the new Jessie.
I mean, she'd probably be
Is she
down.
not like?
Money's money, bitch will take it, you know. So something I think that we can't ignore when talking about Liam's audition is Liam now has a baby with Big Cheryl Cole.
Yeah, I actually noted down what she said. It was just like, whatever it is, you got it. And so
I
oh
wrote down the exact
God.
same thing. She's like, you've definitely got it,
Yeah.
whatever it is. It's like, he's got your child.
He's got genes you want to carry on with. Yeah, yours. In his 2008 audition, he gives her a big wink while singing Fly Me to the Moon, and she says, I like you, I think you're really
Oh.
cute. And I guess
Oh my
that
God,
was
talk
true.
about manifestation.
Oh my
Wow.
Yeah, I swear there's a One Direction documentary or some kind of thing. It might actually be in This Is Us, where they go to their homes and he has a Cheryl Cole calendar
No.
I swear. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong and I've just completely gaslit myself. But I
feel
swear.
like 2010
Oh my
though as well
God.
was also like, you know, peak time for like young lads fancying Cheryl Cole too.
Massively.
I was gonna say this
Wasn't
because,
it?
like, remember how famous she was,
She was a big deal.
and then like in the past 6 years, she is
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
really wasn't as I
Cheryl,
used to
like,
be.
I think
She
trying to
was
crack
huge.
America and flopping that, I think definitely had like a little knock in the armor for Cheryl, but she'll keep fighting for this love.
I just remember everyone dyeing their hair to be like hers. Remember she like dyed her hair that kind
Yeah.
of reddish colour, and then like every girl in your school had that reddish hair colour. Like everyone.
Yeah.
But none of them looked like Cheryl Cole.
It was Cheryl was like the blueprint
Alright,
for
this
fancying Rihanna.
Oh my god, she was! Rihanna, you bitch, you stole Cheryl's look.
This is a slight detour and we can cut it, but remember whenever girls dip dyed their hair? Why did every girl
Because
like
it was
in like
Kylie
Jenner dip dyed her
2013
hair.
dip dye
And
her
you could
hair?
do it at home yourself and not make a balls
Oh,
of
is
it.
that it? Oh,
You
with
didn't
like
have to worry too much
the
if it
roots and
went
that.
badly.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
So yeah, in 2008, Liam got through the first stage into boot camp, and really interestingly, was rejected and then taken back in the exact same way he would be in 2010.
Oh
Only
my
he wasn't
God,
put into a
I
group.
forgot about that, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I never knew that. But Simon was like, I have a gut feeling about him and stuff, which was true.
Simon was right.
And see, whenever I was watching the clips, like, X Factor was like weekly emotional abuse. I was so emotional watching the clip of Liam like getting rejected and then called back.
Yeah. It
No
is,
wonder I
though.
cry so easily when I was reared watching X Factor, like, Jesus. But yeah, ultimately got rejected in 2008, and comes back in 2010. Crowd loved him. Cheryl loved him. He gave us a big performance and a big open mouth. Oh, and fun story, my brother, shout out to Daniel. So in 2010, my brother wore his hair long, and after this performance, my mom was like, Daniel, this is the haircut you need to have.
No.
And so we went straight onto the home PC. We didn't all have laptops and iPads in 2010, guys. And printed off a selection of pictures of Liam from his X Factor audition to take to the hairdressers so big Daniel Brown could get his hair cut like big Liam Payne.
Hey, no.
An icon
Yeah.
of all time.
Well, this was the thing. At that age, I did want to have my hair in that big sweep. Because I had a good friend who had that, but then my parents wouldn't let me like grow my hair long enough. But my hair also grows out like slightly curly, like at the back. But I also would have needed straighteners, and I'm just like fundamentally a lazy human being. But yeah, yeah. But the look of all those boys is quite funny as well. But yeah, one other thing I wanted to say about Liam, and I would say this about most of the auditions, is that they like have no clue what they're doing. Like, it's quite funny to see the way, if you said he did in 2008 Fly Me to the Moon, and then doing Cry Me a River, he's trying to do like a Michael Bublé thing, which is just like ultimately
Sinatra, Bublé,
was
strip
not
that
gonna
down.
be popular. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's
What
it.
an arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What an arc. I mean, I want to hear the Frank Sinatra song with like Quavo on it, to be honest. Frank Sinatra feat Migos, you know.
Oh,
Well, Liam had
so
quite a
good.
hot take today where he said Drake was the Frank Sinatra of our generation.
Did he actually say that?
I think I saw it on an update account on Twitter. I think so at the time of recording this podcast, Liam has just guest starred on the Jackmate podcast, and so I'm assuming it's a quote pulled from that. I didn't get a chance to listen to it today.
Okay,
We can there, Harry. We can.
Yeah, we'll get our
Yup,
fact checkers on that.
Yeah.
We'll get our fact
Yeah.
checkers on that one.
Yeah.
I would expect
Yeah.
nothing less, though, from Liam. That's, like, I said it to you earlier, that is the most Liam thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anybody here got a hot take they'd like to share?
On Big Payno.
Just in general.
You know,
Just in general. Any hot takes, lads, for our weekly segment, Hot Takes.
hot takes that we're now introducing very hastily.
Yeah. Well, I thought it
Um,
segued nicely from Liam's hot take into our hot takes, and then we'll go on to the next audition.
Liam is a purveyor of fine hot takes.
Is that your hot take?
I don't know if it's a hot take, but, like, I feel like it should be an objective take. that Louis' audition should not have got him through.
Yeah, do you know what? Let's
Yeah.
let's go to the Louis audition, because I think, let's all be honest now, this is not good. In fact, in the show notes for our little plan, what I have written is open and frank discussion about how genuinely bad this is.
Oh, it's what you do to me. Oh, it's what you do to me. What you do to me.
I think I have this thought a lot, where obviously they all were like, oh yeah, 23rd of July, One Direction was formed. But I'm like, I don't know, guys. Louis getting through at all makes me think that this was planned over email months in advance.
What you do to me.
Louis is so gassed to be there. You can see how excited he is. He's got his wee tie on. Terrible outfit though. Very 2010 outfit, I'd say. Big,
While
like
he's singing, does he actually
Liam.
do a hair flip as well?
Yes,
Yeah.
he does.
What you do to me?
To me.
It's
Yeah.
quite funny.
And he's really performing. Like, he's trying to sell this. His Danny Zuko training is paying off in the performance aspect, but vocally, it's not there, love.
He got more yeses than Harry. He got more yeses than Harry
Yeah.
Styles did.
I don't know if they thought maybe he was very nervous. I don't know if for whatever reason they chose just that particularly bad clip of him. Maybe that was the best clip. But like,
is all the footage we have like those 30 seconds?
yeah, so I don't,
Is that
to
it?
my memory, what I think it is Louis wouldn't have been featured in one of the main shows, but when he got put through to boot camp and they knew the One Direction storyline was coming up, they were like, oh, this guy is at boot camp as well. Singing Hey There Delilah. Well, singing.
Oh,
Trying to
man.
sing Hey There Delilah. God love
That's
him.
It's just
That's
tragic.
such a wild song as well.
Like, but also,
Yeah.
it's not a hard song to sing, is it? It's very one note.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the fact
Well,
that he's like
Louis
singing
added
it
a
with
few.
a smile. Yeah.
Louis decorated it a bit.
A few microtones in there. Microtonal cover.
It was just objectively bad, and we can't talk about
does
it
he
without
get better?
Yeah, we
acknowledging
can't
that.
gloss over it. Like, we love Louis. We have love for all of the One Direction boys. We wouldn't be doing this podcast if we didn't have love for all of the One Direction boys. But from that love, we have to say that was not good singing there, Louis. Oh my god.
Have you seen that clip of Gemma Collins wherever she's like on the phone to a fan who's like, yeah, I'm on like dialysis. My life is really hard. And she's like, I send you a free burgundy bag.
Do you want the khaki or the red one? The khaki.
I change people's lives.
I'm a hero.
She's
I
so
change
cool.
people's lives. I love that clip. I love it.
I'm a hero. Yeah.
Back on
Um,
track.
Well, after that fiasco, who's next?
So, next audition we're going to talk about is... Let's do Zayn next, because that was another one that was quite a brief clip.
Fist full of diamond, hand full of rings. Baby, you're a star.
Was his
I
shown
just
on Extra
wanna
Factor? I don't remember it being on the main show.
I can't remember, but it's very short. Like, they very... If it... Do you know, actually, I think it would have been on the main show because Big Dermot O'Leary does the voiceover at the start of it.
Would have been like.
This
Stephen
is a true
Mulhern.
X Factor stan talking, guys. I know the voiceovers.
I feel like Zayn's
Um,
one wasn't tragic. He just needed a backing track.
Also, interesting, with the Zayn audition, backstory, he nearly didn't go.
Classic Zayn, huh?
A pattern's gonna emerge, folks. Because he had to leave early in the morning, he was like, oh, sack it, I won't go, and his ma had to go and wake him up. And thank God she did.
Oh, thanks. Oh, go on the mammies.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have this Zayn cup that I'm drinking out of right now.
Oh my god.
God. I found it quite interesting, the song he did. Like, because isn't his career now like more R&B, like that sort of Mario stuff?
Yeah.
You know, is that kind of instructive sometimes? It's a weird choice of song as well. It's like, it's not a song I remember.
I don't actually know that song.
I remember. Oh my god, great song. It's a great song.
Mario.
Who's
Mario
Mario?
was big in like, he was big in like 2003, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, big for this song and maybe more famous in America, I'd say.
Okay.
Probably, yeah.
Also, shocking haircut here, Zane.
Oh my god, yeah.
I actually, in my notes here, I've only got 3 lines for Zayn, but I did say QT. I did think he looked cute there.
Yeah, to be fair, very cute. The haircut looked a
Yeah.
bit shocking, but also to me, in my notes I've written, looks like something Matty Healy off 1975 would wear now. The haircut.
I thought he
is a
looked like a
cycle,
little
baby.
bit like a raccoon.
Rocky raccoon.
He just looked like a raccoon. He was real like
But like,
awkward.
I was gonna
and
say
shy.
his voice isn't actually that good, but he's just doing that X Factor thing where you add like a load of, I don't know what it's actually called.
Yeah, he's
like,
doing
you
a
add
lot
just
of
a load
runs, which
Yeah,
is
that
so
was
interesting
just
because I agree. I
fiddly
don't think
notes.
that this audition really showcases his singing abilities at all because, like, pretty much straight out of the bat with One Direction, Zayn is like a really strong voice
Yeah.
and like continues to be an amazing singer. So it's really kind of interesting that his audition is like mediocre.
Yeah. I feel like he's incredibly nervous though.
Yeah.
Maybe it is like without the backing track, he just can't hold it.
Yeah. Like
don't
I
know.
feel like if he had a backing track he would have been 10 times more confident. So I
Yeah,
don't know
because
why
to
he
be
didn't do
fair,
that.
like he's kind of rushing it a bit. There's not really like taking his time with it. He's getting through it, and like you would be nervous singing in front of not only an arena but like fit Nicole Scherzinger.
Yeah. Oh my god, Nicole was in for his one.
Is it also as well, one thing that's just came into my mind is like, you know the way all these boys are like sort of cute boys, then if you're like Louis or something, you come out and the audience is immediately like an arena sized audience, like 2,000 people are on you and love you. Because like you all know yourself, I don't know, Ali, have you done like acting and stuff?
A little bit.
Yeah. But, like,
Ali's
you
a
know-
theatre queen.
Yeah.
Hello, not a little
I
bit.
but well, Aoife, you know whenever you get like you have a good audience, and even if your performance isn't good, it's like you're hitting it.
Yeah,
then.
the X Factor basically is like as close as we're gonna get to Roman gladiator fights.
Oh my god.
That's pretty good.
The audience really makes or breaks you, which is a lovely segue into the Niall Horan audition.
And now that I'm alone, and cause right now it says that we can't come to the phone, and I know
What a
it
charmer.
makes
Where what
Well,
a
boys.
charmer comes out immediate pre-Invisalign Niall,
Oh
loves
my
a bit of
God,
Justin
yeah.
Bieber, loves a checked shirt, he's straight out of Mullingar, the charisma is flowing off him, and sings his wee song, gives us a little Neo number, and then Simon Cowell reads him for filth.
Oh my god, what
I
what
think
is
you're
the quote?
unprepared. I think you came with the wrong song, and I think you're not as good as you think you are. But he still likes him.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a fair.
It's very
That's
fair.
actually a fair read. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very confident. Like
Yeah.
disgustingly confident. But it's funny because
Confident to
he's
the
Irish.
point where when Simon says that, he's not phased.
Yeah. Oh, he can get away with the cockiness.
I think even the way like he comes out on stage and he actually goes, "Well, guys," he actually says that.
Yes!
Like under his breath. Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, oh my god.
Alright, Dublin. Alright, guys.
I was trying to figure out, was he saying, because I wrote this down, when he comes out on stage, does he say, where is it? He says, all right, Dublin, all right, boys. And I was
Yeah,
trying
oh,
to
is
figure out,
that
I was
it?
like, is he actually saying all right, boys? Or is he saying all right, guys? And we're just picking it up wrong. But he actually says to the whole... What, is
Probably
that-
the Three
was that
Arena.
filmed in the convention centre. I think it was the convention centre.
Oh.
That big spaceship building. Imagine walking out to that many people and saying all right, boys.
Age 16.
Incredible.
Age 16.
Like, you're gonna
But this
be
is-
on
this
his
is the one
side.
thing.
So then whenever, you know, they're kind of hemming and hawing with him, you know, not only has he got the entire audience on his side, but fair play Louis Walsh, really fighting for him here.
Yes. Also, I love Katy Perry says something to him where she's like, is this going to make you like really popular in school? And he's like, I suppose
Yeah.
so, yeah, Katie.
With so much confidence. And Katy Perry is
Yeah.
like, low key, guys, let's be honest, she's in her flop era now. But at the time, she was huge. Like you said earlier, Ali, this was like
Yeah.
California Girls.
California
this was Teenage
Girl.
Dream, peak
Well-
Katy Perry. And he's flirting with her. King.
Yeah, well, let's take a detour
Actually-
through Katy Perry's career.
Yeah.
Where she had like that Teenage Dream album with like 6 #1 singles, and the next one had like Swish Swish Bitch on it.
Like, her Katy,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, what happened? But yeah.
Also,
but-
she was like a little bit weird with Niall in this. She was saying something where she's like, "Oh, I don't know, you're only 16, you're so young." She's like, "I started off when I was 16, but didn't make it till I was like 25." And it's like, yeah, but maybe Niall can make it sooner than you could. Like,
yeah.
he's
I
not
know
fighting
she was-
misogyny. He's a white man. He's going to run away with some
Yeah,
success here,
yeah.
Katy.
I mean, he has that on his side, doesn't he? Unfortunately for us gals, but yeah, she was a little bit like bitter towards him, I thought.
This is one of the things about Niall's and Harry's edition is like you can tell these guys like they know what they want and like they're gonna get it, or like they do have the X Factor.
charm.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey. Yeah, I think but like legitimately
All
like
right,
on
Louis
the screen. No, but like there is something there, like, you know, you can tell at a certain point.
I think at some point
Certainly.
Katy Perry calls it a seed of talent. And look how that's grown. Come on, slow hands. A bop.
I love Niall
Um,
now. Niall's music's actually pretty good. It's pretty good. Solo stuff. I'm
really
still a
good.
stan for Niall.
Yeah. That's like Irish thing, you're always gonna stand by your Irish celebrity. Do you know?
Yeah.
And Niall
Actually-
reached one of the other perks of being Irish and on the X Factor is you'll always have a friend in Louis Walsh. And Niall
Also,
really,
though-
you know, got that day.
Did we get to vote? I don't think we got to vote, though.
We did. We weren't
whole
able
way
to vote
through.
on the X Factor every year, but this year we definitely could
This
vote
was the year we were
because
like,
I
yeah.
was voting.
Yeah. I remember voting for them in the final. I don't know if I voted for them tragically throughout, but I definitely voted for them in the final. And I was like, was it a thing that we were allowed to vote in the final, or were Irish people allowed to vote in that season? Because this was Mary Byrne season as well, so we actually had
Queen.
Mary Byrne and Niall.
Oh, big Tesco Mary. Do you think she'd come on
Yeah.
the podcast?
Oh my god, Tesco Mary is on like those afternoon chat shows all the time, giving her hot takes. She would definitely come on. We're
Would
getting
she?
Mary Byrne on. I were gonna ask her what it was like to live with them.
Oh my god. Yes.
But it's funny because I actually remember when Niall's audition aired, I was on Twitter and people were, I think his was on Extra Factor, was it? I feel like his was an Extra Factor one. I don't know, was it main show? But I remember someone literally tweeting going like, I think I shifted him when I was younger. I remember
If
someone
you're that
putting on the
girl, email
timeline.
us midnightmemoriespod@gmail.com.
Yeah, let us know if you're that girl. It's someone I follow, and I probably still follow them. And I just remember someone putting that up, and I was like, "That's so funny." But like at the time, obviously, this is pre 1D. This was just Niall's audition. I was like, "That's so crazy." Someone she
God.
shifted is on the telly.
But yeah, even just from the moment he walks out, you can't tell that he knows what he wants. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I suppose is quite similar to our next guy.
Our fave.
Beautiful. Our
Yeah.
fifth and final audition to talk about white Eskimo frontman Harry Styles.
Lovely. Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she precious?
Oh, I feel like it's been so many years since he's been introduced as white Eskimo frontman.
Is that how I should refer to him for the entire podcast?
He would love that. He would love that.
Guys, what does that mean?
Ah, Harry Casey. So,
I'm so confused.
listeners, this is what's going to be so fantastic about this podcast is Harry is not a One Direction stan at all, so we're going to get to educate him throughout
Yeah.
on some
As
1D
I said,
lore.
I don't know any of the 1D lore. Yeah.
So White Eskimo was the band Harry was in when he was in secondary school. Monday to Friday, he was at school, he was getting those GCSEs.
He's doing that business studies A level boy.
In the afternoons, frontman of White Eskimo, winning Battle of the Bands. What was he doing on a Saturday?
I work in a bakery.
King.
I work in a bakery.
Iconic.
I work in a bakery.
No, do you know what bit I love actually from Harry's audition? It's when he's in the queue and they're like asking him about where he's from and he's like, oh yeah, I'm from Holmes Chapel, and then he just says, And it's not even funny, but I remember finding it so funny at the time, where he's just like, it's quite picturesque.
Like, he's so funny, very charisma, charming,
Very cheeky.
very cheeky chappy, loves a bracelet, loves
Cheeky
a
grin.
scarf, like...
Yeah, it's pretty wild to see him smile because he stops doing that in the One Direction years.
Oh my god. One Direction killed his soul.
Another thing important to touch on, how beautiful is Anne Twist? Still
Oh
to
my
this
God,
day,
yeah.
but...
Anne seals the show in this audition, to be honest.
So Harry
Is that his mum?
Casey, this is his beautiful inside and out mother.
Oh,
Listeners,
yeah.
can you tell I'm a Harry girl?
Because before he goes on, it's like embarrassing, but like all his family are like towering above him, and they're all like pulling him
Also,
in for
he has
kisses.
so much
and then he'll have
family
to
with
bend
him.
down.
The whole clan are there.
Yeah.
Which was actually quite cute.
Yeah.
The whole gang are there. Like,
And then
their
the t-shirts and
t-shirts.
all. Yeah.
So cute.
What do they have? Harry t-shirts
Yeah.
on?
Yeah, Harry to win X Factor
Oh my
kind of
God.
classic. Harry gives us a rendition of Isn't She Lovely by Stevie Wonder a cappella, and
Pretty good.
I think it's actually
It's
class.
pretty good.
I thought I think that's an interesting choice of song, that he went for something that wasn't like Neo or Mario or like Cry Me
yeah.
River or whatever the other one was. Yeah, he went for like an actual decent song.
And it's interesting as well because it becomes indicative of like their music taste.
Yeah. He's still kind of old school.
And you know that kind of music
But
is
yeah,
what.
I mean, he's the only one with taste.
Yeah, he references a lot of that to this day.
Yeah, well, I mean, is that the only song like you would actually listen to in your day-to-day life?
Isn't she
Like,
lovely?
I mean, isn't she? That's the only song out of all these edition pieces that you would actually like put on and enjoy. I don't know.
No, to
Maybe
be
that's just me.
fair. Yeah, I think that's just you.
Yeah. Maybe I'm
Sorry.
slightly different to the demographic of One Direction fans.
Slightly.
I love before he even
Potentially.
starts singing, when he's just like, when he walks out on stage, he's like, hello.
Really confident.
But are the crowd not going mad for
The
him as
crowd
well?
love him.
Similar to the Niall
Yeah.
thing, a young, good-looking fella's coming out, and the crowd are immediately behind you with the charisma.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. Well, like, do we have confirmation on Harry's school years? Was he a popular guy?
I imagine that he was.
Yeah,
I get popular vibes.
it's because like
Yeah. Had a girlfriend, you know.
there was
Oh, yes,
oh
he
god,
had a girlfriend.
get this guy had a
Wrote
girlfriend.
her poems and all on MySpace.
What a sap.
Oh my god!
I know.
I bet she's kicking
Oh,
herself.
that girl is raging.
Yeah, she's raging.
Yeah, because like Harry Styles strikes me. Harry Styles. Well, it's the way as well. Not in the pre-interviews, like, Harry Styles. He says his full name the whole way through.
hmm
It's quite
It's
funny.
also such a pop star
but, like,
name. Like, the minute you hear that, you're
Really
like,
pop star.
Harry
that's a
Styles.
very memorable name. Out of
Yeah.
all of them, you'd be like, wow.
Didn't really have a better one.
Yeah. Also enjoyed in the Zayn audition, he only introduced himself as Zayn,
I'm Zayn.
which is now his brand. He's just Zayn. He's not Zayn Matt like he's Zayn.
I'm just a little boy from Bradford,
there's
and
probably-
now I'm smashing it. Another part of Harry's audition that I want to mention is which one of the judges says they don't think he's like mature enough or old enough or something.
Yeah, it's Louis. I take back anything
Louis.
good I said about Louis in the Niall section.
Oh, yeah,
Louis
fuck
gives
that
him a
guy.
no and really hardballs, which is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
but the audience, as we were saying, the audience are like very much on his side, and they're all like boo, boo, and then Harry himself goes boo.
Confidence, a confident king.
Just so funny. And he's just like a little cheeky grin when he does it as well, and he's like, I know I've got them at my side. He's like, if I don't get through today, all these people are going to follow me and my band on YouTube anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go off and get my A-levels in, what does he even mentions this in it, doesn't he? He's like, I'm going to go off.
Law,
business
sociology,
studies.
business, and something else.
But it's so funny how confident
Doesn't
he
matter. He's
says.
never going to do them.
It's
He's
the
going to just
graph.
get rich.
This is it. He says, they're like, oh, what do you do? And he's like, oh, I'm going back to school in September to do them. It's like, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
You're never going
you're
back to
not.
school.
A couple of months ago, pre-COVID, me and Becky, shout out Becky at the Nifty Swifter, watched the One Direction auditions, and we were really drunk at the time, and I had a big cry watching Harry's one because He never does get his A-levels. And I've got really emotional about that.
I mean, he's made more money than any of us ever will in our entire lives.
Doesn't need
so.
to be able to, doesn't even
I'd
need
say
to be able
he's
to
winning.
spell A-levels at this point. He's grand.
Yeah, he can't even. He doesn't even know how to hold a pen. He just signs contracts with an X like Joan of Arc.
I volunteer to hold pens for Harry Styles.
I mean, we can always
also,
teach
I
him
thought
his
I would
A-levels.
share. Yeah, I thought I would share my core memory of watching this audition. I was upstairs. PC is coming into play again. On the PC, my mum's watching X Factor, and shout out Kathleen Brown, talent scout. Calls me downstairs and is like, "Aoife, you have to see this boy on the TV. You're gonna love him." And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Mom, come downstairs." And like, you know, like in a film where it's like in slow motion and they see each other and it's just love at first sight.
Except he didn't see you.
Except he didn't see me because he was on the TV, but I saw him. And in that moment, this is my last memory as a human before I simply became a vessel for loving Harry Styles. I'm actually pretty sure this is how nice and fickle I am. I don't think I even heard him sing. I think that
Oh my god.
I came down at the point where, because he doesn't sing for very long, he basically just does a chorus of "Isn't She Lovely?" And yeah, I came down just after and was like, I will follow him to the ends of the earth.
Even if he doesn't
And then
get
went
through.
upstairs and found the audition on YouTube and watched it, and I was like, oh, he can sing too. But didn't matter. I was sold and I never went back.
Do you remember on
Listen.
Twitter? Were you on Twitter at the time of the auditions, Aoife?
Yeah.
Do you remember following them straight after their auditions? Because this is like such a memory I have. Because I think I followed Harry when he had like 500 followers, which is just bizarre to think about now. Like that's freak. I wish, like, obviously we wouldn't have took screenshots at the time because like we didn't know there were gonna be One Direction. But like, that's so nuts to think about. Isn't it? Like, that's so bizarre. Like, I have a tweet from Liam
mental.
before the whole One Direction episode aired. From when he was just Liam.
Really?
Yeah, my first tweet from Liam is from before we knew about 1D. Which is just so
Wow.
bonkers. Like, I still remember, and I remember following Niall. I think Niall had like 2,000 followers or something. And it was like, you know, straight after their auditions or while their auditions are happening. You like follow like 5 accounts because you're not sure which one is the real one.
Yes, I had that with Harry's account where I didn't want to follow the wrong guy or whatever.
Yeah. I just remember Harry like was like tweeting loads of people at the time as well, and like he used to do, I think he kind of still does it sometimes, where like he would tweet an X or like a full stop with an X after it.
Yeah.
I just remember that being like a big thing, like straight after his audition aired, which is so strange. And that just came back into my head there now. And I was like, oh my god, I remember following him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so guys, everyone just follow me on Twitter. It's squid_marquee.
Oh my god.
You can get it on the first floor. It's going to be so good. You can screenshot it this time.
Yeah, move over, Styles. It's Casey's time.
Move over, Harry Styles. There's a new guy.
Exclusive content
time.
over on his Patreon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it for the One Direction auditions. All in all, let's rank them actually. Let's say Louis going last.
100%.
Like, on a scale of 1 to 5, Louis going at number 10. It was bad.
It was bad.
Oh.
Like, Louis, we love you, but like that
Yeah, it was not
audition was
good.
just not good. It was not good.
Yeah.
I
We're
mean,
glad it all
what's
worked out,
next,
but
then?
we don't know how.
Not good.
Who would we put in 4th place?
I'm putting Zayn in 4th.
Yeah, same.
Zayn's vocals
Yeah.
were better than Niall's, but Niall's audition was better as a whole. Like, if I was a casting
Yeah.
director,
Yeah.
I would have took Niall.
Yeah.
Zayn's just didn't excite me. I didn't like, what was this man doing?
Yeah.
Like, not
I agree.
memorable. Not memorable.
Yeah.
Whereas the top 3 are memorable.
Yeah. I'd say Niall is 3rd place.
Yeah, Niall's 3rd place for me.
No, I put Niall up in second, to be honest.
Oh, who's your big three,
Who's
Harry?
your third place?
Well, it's then Liam. It's then Liam, because his is like, he doesn't have it. He's doing like the American accent, like you said. It's like very. I've been to singing lessons in the past 2 years, and the way that teaches people to sing by shouting and being Michael Bublé. Yeah, the whole Michael Bublé thing is just like, this just isn't right in a lot of ways. Yeah, but I'd say Niles and Harry's as a overall package are way better.
Spicy.
Streets above.
I would probably put Harry's at
Spicy
number
takes.
1 as well, but I'm very heavily biased. But I think even vocally it's the best, because like we've said, like Liam's doing his singing lessons voice. I think Harry's is like authentic and he's having the crack. But then like storyline wise and stuff, Liam's would have been a big deal. So
I'm putting Liam's at number 1. Like, I think yes to him doing his American accent and it like not really being him 100%, but I think at the time Liam's just absolutely knocks it out of the park compared to the others audition wise. Like, if we didn't know anything about any of them and they were never a band, I think Liam just steals it with the auditions, and I would have Harry as number 2 just for the charm, purely for the charm.
so charming.
He's so charming.
So many bracelets and so much.
And same
charm.
with Niall. Like, Niall just, he was just so funny. He was just so funny and cocky and like gas in his audition. He gets the big number 3 from me.
I think Niall might actually be the best TV, just because the way he's like flirty with Katie and stuff like that, and all the wee hey bays and all that stuff.
Alright, bye.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Iconic.
Which I mean, obviously helps.
We should probably mention some girl, who was it? Someone messaged the other day about Niall pre X Factor. Was it ye that I messaged about it? Where like when we put up something about this podcast on Twitter, and I was like, oh, if anyone's got a story and wants to come on and talk to us about it, like, let me know. And a girl messaged me and was like, oh, I actually saw Niall pre X Factor open for Lloyd Daniels, who was like, I think the previous year or 2 years before One Direction's X Factor. I think he played, maybe it was the Academy in Dublin or Vicar Street or somewhere. And Niall opened for him, but he introduced himself as something else. He didn't call himself Niall. What was it?
Oh, you did put this in the group
Yeah,
chat.
I forget.
Yeah.
Was it Stuart? Did he call
I'm
himself
never gonna be able to
Stuart?
find it.
It was some like.
God.
It was some...
God.
Yeah.
Niall.
He's wearing like a top hat and a monocle.
We'll find out what it was.
He had like greyhounds with him.
We'll.
Yeah, he was in a fox hunting. Yeah. Get up.
His Tory alter ego.
He held up the corpse of a dead fox.
We will have to find that full story.
Yeah.
I'm sure there were actually plenty of people
Yeah.
who were at that concert because Lloyd Daniels was pretty popular.
Yeah,
At the
if you were
time,
there,
Yeah.
hit us up. That's all of the solo auditions. The good, the
Nice.
bad,
Crazy.
and the Louis of it all.
Wow.
So next week we will be covering boot camp and judges' houses. So hopefully you've enjoyed this mess and want to come back. And if you have listened through to the end of the show, thank you so much. This is our first week, our first episode. My first venture into podcasting, Harry's first venture into podcasting. Ali's already a podcast queen.
Overstatement of the year.
Check out Chat Shit.
There's plenty of 1D chat going on over
Yeah,
there.
guys,
too.
if you don't like 1D, check out squid_marquee at Twitter. Sublingual_tablet, subscore at Instagram. Follow me on all the socials, guys.
If you have enjoyed what you heard and you think that maybe... Why did you laugh?
If
Why
you
would I
enjoyed
not
what
have
you heard,
enjoyed this?
obviously they enjoyed what they heard. Yeah, if you made it this far.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. We're at Midnight Mems Pod on everything. Or if you enjoyed what you heard so much and thought, oh my god, they're so young and cool and hip and accessible, I want to talk to them, and you have a One Direction story to share, we are dying to hear it. We are currently looking for guests to come on and speak about the Up All Night era. So that would be obviously the first album, like 2011, 2012 era. So if you've got a song from that album that you just love,
If you've got a story.
if you saw them on that tour, if you went and saw them on radio tours, because that was the time where One Direction were probably the most accessible to us. So if you have a story about that era that you want to share, we will be sharing a Google form for you guys to fill out on all of our social medias, or if you just want to get in touch, we are midnightmemoriespod@gmail.com. If you want to help any of us in our quest to become an influencer, give us a follow on our personals. Harry's been plugging himself away. Give yourself one more plug there.
Squid_Marquis. And like Marquis du Sade, it's like French.
Harry's really cool, guys. My Twitter is Aoife Brown, and for anyone who's not Irish, that's AOIFE Brown with an E 7. AOIFE BROWNE the number 7. At Twitter, that's me. And then on Instagram, it's the same name, but a 3 instead of a 7. Wow.
Brand consistency.
Ali, plug yourself.
My username on Twitter is @FizzyAli. Fizzy like the drink. Ali spelled ALLIE. Oh my god, I can never remember my Instagram username. My Instagram name is Ali, ALLIE, full stop, jam, like the thing that you put on bread.
Jam. I think
Yeah,
you put
babe.
on bread.
It's my initials. It's my middle name initials. It's not just, I don't like jam that much.
Ali, what's your middle name?
Jane Ann Miranda.
Ooh.
That's middle names. That's not a middle name.
Yeah, if you want to follow me, that's where you can find me.
Boom. Yeah, I suppose that's it.
See you on the
for
flip side.
this ep. Thanks.
See you in boot camp.
Yeah, see you in boot camp.
See you in boot camp.
Can't
Can't wait to get our
rehearsing.
dancing shoes on. And
Yeah.
go find Zayn.
Yeah. Get ready for some
Where's Zayn gone? Where's he gone?
great covers of Torn by.
Oh, iconic.
Anyway,
Oh my god, Torn.
Right. See you
Aoife.
next week.
see ya.
Right, guys.
That's it.
Stop and recording now.
Got pretty loosey goosey towards the end, guys. NGL.
Yeah. Drinking during these is a